Hi, everybody. It's Thursday and it's April 2nd, and this is my phone tip or my communication tip for the day. I've had a lot of calls and emails and connections with individuals that are used to working outside the office, meeting clients and so on, who are now needing to pick up the phone or do a lot more video calls. And so I've gotten a lot of requests for sharing more information. So that's what these daily tips are about. And today's is connected to yesterday's. It's about the importance of including compassion in your communication right now, because we are all living through the COVID-19 pandemic. And if we ignore that in our calls, we are going to come across as distant, cold, maybe in denial. It isn't going to sit well in terms of creating trust, building relationship, building that loyalty, or you're talking to customers, maintaining that loyalty. So what we need to work with is creating that compassion, including it in our communication, but not having it derail the whole conversation. Everybody wants to get the economy back in working order. So by making calls, you're not intruding, but you do need to include compassion in the conversation to make it work today. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now and give you some of the language to work with. So yesterday we talked about the fact that, compassion is emotion, and that is difficult for people who are more logical to figure out how to include that emotion in a business conversation. So here are some thoughts. Now, this is my language. You're going to need to find your own. But when you're calling a prospect or a client, you can express your compassion at the beginning. So you might say, Chris, the reason for my call today is to update you on our webinar schedule. Before I get to that, I do want to say that I hope you, your family, and your colleagues are doing well. So your compassion is there. Chris can pick up on that for a few sentences, but it's in there attached to the fact that this is a business call. So it's not going to derail the whole conversation. Or you can express it at the end. So I can have my conversation with Chris about the webinar schedule. And at the end, I can say, Chris, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. I know everyone's life is a bit off kilter. I hope you and your family and your colleagues are fine. Stay well. So I can end the conversation that way, and still express compassion. This does go a long way towards building those relationships we all work so hard to build in our businesses. And this is an actual email that I sent to a client yesterday. And I like emails that have a lot of white space and are kind of like agendas, so that all the different parts are easy to see. So I said, first, I hope you and your family and your staff are all fine and healthy. Second, is there value to you to have our coaching session on Thursday? I'm not sure how COVID-19 is impacting you. And I really didn't know, in a different part of the country than I am, very different business, wasn't sure what circumstances he'd be in. If for any reason you would like to delay our session to a later date, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks, and my very best wishes at this challenging time. So the compassion is there. He was thrilled to get that message and express that to me. And you can compare that to this email, which was sent to me by a colleague. He received it yesterday. So it's Jennifer with ABC Company. I gave you a ring, but wanted to make sure you didn't miss the opportunity to keep your leads rolling in. I can get you scheduled to speak with someone on my team to make sure we are the right source for you. Oh, there's a typo there. Does sometime next week work for you? So there's no mention of what's going on in the world. And that can really shut somebody down right now. So again, if emotion is not where you enjoy being, Simply find a phrase that works for you. I hope all is well. Stay well. Be well. A crazy time we're living in. Hope you're doing okay. Anything like that, just to say, I am in touch with the world and I know this is impacting you. And it doesn't have to derail the whole conversation, but it does need to be there to build that relationship, that trust, and that loyalty. Okay, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you again tomorrow.